Two girls were sitting by a lake chatting peacefully
What is that?
when they suddenly realized that the water was filled with vicious piranhas. The moment they sensed the danger, they started moving away, but the piranhas began slamming into the wooden walkway beneath them. One of the girls lost her balance and fell straight into the lake. The splash immediately attracted a massive swarm of piranhas, but her friend reacted just in time and pulled her back to safety. Just when they thought they were safe, another problem appeared. A few steps later, the second girl's foot got stuck in a broken plank. The shore was only a short distance away, but the piranhas launched another attack. This time, both girls ended up in the water. Luckily, they had grown up around the lake and were excellent swimmers, so they managed to reach the shore. But then a piranha suddenly leaped out of the water and lunged at them. Thinking quickly, one of the girls grabbed it midair and smashed it against a rock. Wanting answers about these mysterious fish, Maddie visited a famous marine biologist along with her police officer boyfriend and a friend. The scientist had been studying the creatures for over a year. To demonstrate their terrifying power, he placed a live piranha inside a tank divided by a thick steel plate and released a frog on the other side. Everyone assumed there was no way a fish could break through solid steel, but as soon as the piranha sensed its prey, it began ramming the barrier like a maniac. Within seconds, it tore a large hole through the metal. Barry risked his life to rescue the frog before it became the fish's next meal. The scientists then revealed a shocking truth. These weren't ordinary piranhas. They were an ancient species believed to have gone extinct millions of years ago. Their sudden return was a complete mystery. They had almost no natural predators and reproduced at an alarming rate. If left unchecked, they would take over the entire lake and eventually spread through pipelines into people's swimming pools. The warning terrified Maddie because her family had just built a new water park connected directly to the lake, and the grand opening was scheduled for the next day. Determined to confirm the threat, she dove into the lake and inspected the underwater filtration net. Everything looked secure, but on her way back, a piranha attacked her. The smell of blood instantly attracted the entire swarm. At the last second, Kyle jumped into the water and pulled her to safety. Even after returning home, Maddie couldn't shake her fear. That night, she had a nightmare in which piranhas had somehow made their way into her bathtub. To her, it felt like a warning that the water park should never open. The next morning, however, hundreds of visitors arrived for the grand opening. Maddie desperately tried to convince her father about the danger, but he refused to listen. Too much money had been invested in the project, and he wasn't willing to delay the launch. As soon as the water supply was activated, the piranhas entered the park through the connected pipelines. A young boy was bitten by something in the pool, but his mother brushed it off. Moments later, the piranhas got their first taste of blood and called the rest of the swarm. Within minutes, chaos erupted throughout the entire water park. The fish attacked swimmers from every direction, and the crystal clear water quickly turned red. People scrambled to escape as panic spread everywhere. In the middle of the chaos, a man in a wheelchair attached his specially designed metal legs and charged into the water to fight the piranhas. The fish couldn't damage his metal limbs, but there were simply too many of them for one person to handle. Maddie and Barry realized the only way to stop the attack was to drain the pools. Barry rushed to the control room and began opening the valves while Maddie focused on helping people escape. As the water drained, powerful currents started pulling the piranhas into the pipes. Unfortunately, Maddie was caught in the flow as well. Kyle stood on the edge watching everything happen, but he did nothing to help her. It was later revealed that Maddie's father had promised him a share of the park's profits, so he had ignored the danger from the beginning. Now Maddie was completely on her own. Just when all hope seemed lost, Barry arrived and speared one of the piranhas. He then jumped into the water, rescued the unconscious Maddie, and performed CPR until she started breathing again. Meanwhile, their friend came up with an even more dangerous plan. He poured gasoline into the pipes and set it on fire. Seconds later, a massive explosion ripped through the system, killing countless piranhas. Everyone believed the nightmare was finally over. But then Maddie received a call from the scientist. Before he could finish speaking, she noticed something horrifying. A piranha slowly crawled out of the water and began moving across the ground. A nearby boy, WW,